Yo, what up? It's your boy, Mr. E, and today we're going to learn about modeling dividing fractions. Now, the other day we went over KCF, which is a great quick way to learn how to divide fractions, but this video is going to dive a little bit deeper on the why and the how behind KCF. Now, when we model dividing fractions, there's actually going to be two different ways that we're going to do this. So let's take a look at this video. The first way we're going to model dividing fractions is by doing whole number by unit fraction. So we've got an expression here, 3 divided by 1/4. So to represent the whole number, we're going to have 3 rectangles. I think we can all agree that this would represent 3 wholes. Now, the question we need to ask ourselves is, how many times can 1/4 fit into this? That's really all division ever is. How many times can something fit into something else? So 1/4 is a very small fraction, and I think 1/4 can fit into 3 several times. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut these 3 rectangles into fourths evenly. And then after that, all we're going to do is count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Whew, I feel like the count from Sesame Street.
9, 10, 11, 12. Wonderful.
So after that, we know that there's 12 fourths that can fit into 3, and 12 divided by 4 would give us 3. So 12 is going to be an answer we get, and it's going to be a good answer.
Good answer, good answer, good answer.
Now, one thing when it comes to modeling whole number by unit fraction division is there's no shade at all, okay? Never shade in. It's going to be just empty rectangles. So if you ever see something like this and it's not shaded, that's a pretty good hint that we're going to be dividing whole number by unit fraction. Let's take a look at what it looks like when it's opposite though. So now we have an expression that is unit fraction by whole number. And something I notice about this expression is the numbers are very similar to what we used in the last problem, but we flip-flopped the dividend and the divisor. Now the question we're going to ask about this is, what fraction can fit into 1/4 3 times? So we're trying to find a smaller number because remember, if we divide unit number by or unit fraction by whole number, our answer is also going to be a unit fraction. So when we do this type of modeling, we're only going to have one rectangle, but it's going to be usually already split into whatever the unit fraction we start with. So we have fourths, and we can see over here, this is 1/4. It's an equal 1/4. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of those fourths, and we're going to cut them into 3. Now that we've cut them into 3 equal parts, we are going to shade in. So anytime we do a unit fraction by whole number, there will be shade, okay? Now, to figure out the answer, what I like to do is I like to continue on these horizontal lines with a dotted line. And now what we can see is we can see how small that piece really is out of the whole rectangle we started with. So we just count all the little rectangles within, and there is a total of 12 rectangles. So 1 shaded in out of 12 would give us 1 out of 12. See, this modeling dividing fraction stuff is pretty easy.
Are you sure about that?
Be quiet, John Cena. Nobody can even see you. Let's go ahead and we're going to take a look at a couple models without the expression and see if we can kind of guess what that expression would be. All right, so this looks a lot like the last one we just tried. So what I think is this is going to be a unit fraction by whole number division. What I notice is it's cut into half. So we have 1/2 and another half. And one of those halves are cut into 5 even pieces, and only one of them are shaded in. So to find our answer, all we're going to need to do is put a dotted line, and then we count the total amount of rectangles we have, which is 10. One of them is shaded in, so it'd be 1/10. So I think our expression would be 1/2 divided by 5 equals 1/10. So if we saw a model that looked like that, we would know it's unit fraction by whole number. Let's take a look at another type of model. This one looks a little bit more like the first problem we did. And remember, it has no shade, So that means we're going to be doing a whole number by a unit fraction. So it looks like I have 5 separate rectangles, and they all have been cut into 2 or cut into halves, okay? So to find the answer to this, all I'm going to have to do is be like the count from Sesame Street and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 total rectangles. So our answer is going to be 10. So our expression would be 5 divided by 1/2 equals 10. And we could go back with all these models we just did and show our work with KCF, and we would get the same answer, okay? But again, modeling really helps us understand a little bit more about the why and the how behind dividing fractions. And unfortunately, I lied in my last video. It's not magic. It's actually pretty logical how dividing fractions work. But you might not completely understand it now, but you will after you get a little bit of practice. So hopefully this video was helpful to you. Hopefully you'll get a chance to take a look at more models and get more practice with KCF, and you'll be dividing fractions like a pro. We love you guys. We miss you, and I'll see you later. Bye.